Welcome to my show today. Guess what I'm going to talk about? That's right, I have Lego Elves out here for you. I'm going to be talking about the Lego Elves Wave 1. What was I thinking when I purchased it? How have they done since then? How can those investing ideas apply to existing Lego sets? And I want to give a big thank you to all my international viewers who are watching from outside the United States. I know a lot of the stuff that I talk about is specifically about the United States market, but a lot of it does apply throughout the world, especially for these. I'll be interested to hear in the comments how Lego Elves have performed in other countries outside of the United States. Now, of course, the Lego Elves line was created with mini dolls after the successful Friends mini dolls and some of the Princess mini dolls, but with an associated TV show to help market it. Now, when it first came out in March of 2015, it was sort of, is this TV show, is this line going to be more like a Chima line, or is it going to be more like a Ninjago line? How successful is it going to be? So when a Wave 1 comes out, there's a lot of anxiety about, you know, how is it going to do? How does it look? How is it going to be received? Well, for this one, I looked at all of them and I thought, you know what? Which one did I pick out as sort of the most interesting? And I actually thought that this one was the most interesting. One of them reasons was because all of these sets come with animals, except for, of course, except for this one. Didn't come with an animal, but they all come with these interesting animals that are associated with them. And this one came with a purple dolphin, and my daughter said, oh, a purple dolphin. That was good enough for me, so I picked that as the winner. Which one do you think has done the best? Well, let's go ahead and take a look at the data as of August. So there you go. And you can see that it's been a mixed bag. Some of them have done pretty well. Some of them have done not so well. Some are still below retail cost. Now, it's sort of crazy, some of the data in the very beginning. So let's truncate that a little bit and look at a more condensed set of data. So there you go. And you can see now things are more evened out. And what do you notice? Two of the sets have never dropped below their retail price. And so that would be this set here and this set here. So we have the Spa Secret and the Creative Workshop. So those have never dropped below retail. And in fact, those two had already been sold out at Lego along with the bakery. The bakery had also been sold out. Now there was still some left over in the retail markets, which is why you can still see the prices stayed relatively stable. But you can notice those three that retired the soonest after only 9 months are the three that have appreciated the most. Now, does that have to do with the content of those sets or just the length of time those sets were on the shelf? Well, it's hard to say. Now, of course, most people aren't going to be buying for investment purposes any of these at retail. Even for play purposes, I don't buy any of these at retail. Lots of times for a set like this, I bought one of each at 20% off the first time I had that opportunity, so I could have some and see them. So let's look at what it would be like at 20% off, so you can see the 20% off prices. It just changes everything a little bit. And then what you're really looking for more often is 30 to 40% off. If you can order those online, that's really, really your sweet spot. So let's go ahead and take a look at 35% off. So you can see then at least everything is worth more than what you paid for it. That's good. That's good. And, but of course, the BrickPicker data is really, really good to show trends, to show how things move, to show comparisons between different sets, but it often is a little not current. So let's look at some current data for these sets, starting off with Amazon, because there's the Amazon data. And you can see how vastly different the Amazon data is than that BrickPicker data. And this was current as of the beginning of October. And of course, that's ideal. That's going to be your gross profit. Let's look at your net profit after Amazon takes all its fees. And you can still see that most everything, even if you bought it at 20% off, is going to net you a little bit of money, some more than others. So that even though the set has seemed sort of average, sort of that it was a mixed bag, stuff has done pretty well. Now, I know not everyone can sell on Amazon, and that's unfortunate how Amazon has dealt with these things, how some sellers have been gated and can't get in anymore. But where can everyone sell? Well, of course, everyone can sell on eBay. So let's look at the eBay data. And that has lower fees, but higher shipping. And of course, a lot more time that has to go into it. And you can still see that virtually everything, at least you're not going to be losing money, right? That'd be bad. But you're going to be making money. Some you're going to make more than others. And the question becomes, is it worth it? Is it worth the effort of buying the set, storing the set, listing the set, packing it, printing the shipping label, sending it, hoping that the buyer receives it, hoping that you get a good feedback for $5 or $10 or $20? You know, it's really hard to see one that is going to make you 20 bucks. There's no way you really would have known ahead of time which one was going to do that, especially when you're thinking of one like this, which is in such a long, skinny box, really, really hard to ship effectively if you're not shipping through the US Postal Service. If you have to ship FedEx or UPS or, again, throughout the world, other ways, you're going to be hitting dimensional weights with this box, which is going to make it expensive to ship. So is it worth it? That is a really, really hard question. Now, of course, the cheaper you get, the easier it is and the more you can make. How efficient are you at your shipping, at your setup, at all that sort of stuff? And part of doing this show for you is looking back at data. Now, I get just as grumpy as the next guy when my deeply held beliefs are challenged by real data, right? So I really liked this set, these elves, but look at the data. Maybe it's really not worth it. Maybe my belief that these things are going to be good, you know, good to invest in just isn't going to stand reality. And the fact is, for many, you know, maybe it isn't. Maybe I really am deluded and these things just aren't any good for the investment purposes, except that I really did like this one and I really did pick it as my favorite, partially because it was in the $20 box size price and it was this nice square box, which is easy to ship. But again, when I look back at my data, which one do I have barely any of? This one. Why? Because I never found it on sale. Which one do I have a ton of? I have a ton of this one and I have a ton of this one. Walmart clearance, 50% off. Just general clearance, able to find at 40% off everywhere. So I have tons and tons of the creative workshops. I have lots of the bakeries, again, because of price. If you could find any of these 40 to 50% off, then they're all winners. So that's good, you know, if you can find stuff that cheap. Now, on eBay, shipping something like this has its pluses and its minuses. It's small enough that you can ship it first class, again, through the US Postal Service, again, elsewhere throughout the world. It should be small enough that you can ship it really, really easily. This one, again, isn't that hard to ship, so it should be okay, even if you're only making $10 a set. Now, how does that influence what's happened in the future for the rest of the Elves line? And of course, there's Wave 2, and what stands out from Wave 2? Well, of course, you have these two, right? These two really stand out from Wave 2. Crazy, crazy, crazy things, right? Was there any way to predict that that was going to happen in Wave 2? Absolutely not. Like 4 months on the shelf. Again, elsewhere in the world, was it just as crazy in the US? 4 months on the shelf. The thing that's really interesting is now we know that the elf market can support a $200 elf set. Crazy, 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 crazy. Now, the real test is going to be this set, the Water Dragon, which has been available 40% off forever for like for a year. When it finally retires, is it going to be a good investment? Even though I bought a lot at 40% off, do I buy any more? No, because I'm starting to get a little worried that it's been 40% off, 12 bucks forever. So who knows? You know, the dragons are really, really cool. I think they're nice. They're a good mix between brick built and molded. And so will it do well? Will that do well? Will the Queen Dragon's Rescue do well? Time is we're just gonna have to wait and see. Now we're on to Wave 3, of course, and anticipating Wave 4. But of Wave 3, what do I like? Well, I have to say, I do have a little bit of a hankering for this orange creamsicle-colored Pegasus, even though the Wave 1.5 Pegasus set has done nothing. But, you know, here we got an orange creamsicle-colored one. Cool. Dark blue indigo dragon. Could be. Now, the key again, like we've seen for some of these other ones that have done well, short availability on the shelf. Will these have that? No way of knowing right now. But the key to some of this is paying close attention to what's happening on Lego, whether they're available, whether they get sold out, what's happening in the retailers, looking for really good deals on this elf stuff. Long term, I really don't see a lot of value in these sets, super long term. So in fact, everything except for maybe one of this, of Wave 1, all getting sold this holiday season. I just don't see any long term. You need to buy and sell when they're fresh in people's memories. I will probably keep one of each of these because I do like the dragons. You know, I do like to collect the dragons. It's hard to collect the Ninjago dragons and now the elf dragons and all the the full maxi figure dragons, but I do like collecting the dragons, so I will keep a couple of those long term. But again, I would guess these are probably capped at their value. I don't think they're going to go that much higher. So how is that going to affect your investing? You have to think about the time that it's going to take to package your stuff up. You're going to have to think about the shape of the set. How easy is it to ship? Can you ship it first class in an envelope, in a small box that can fit right in your mailbox? Is it going to be a little bit bigger where it's going to hit 3 pounds, where it's going to just get over a threshold? You know, lots of times the shipping companies have these thresholds at even increments. So if you just get one little bit over, then you pay another, $3, $4, $5 for shipping. So really, really tricky. So anyway, so there's the elves. That's what I think of the elves. And I'll do some more shows about what it takes, what you really need to think about if you want to sell, if you want to hit a certain goal. My current goal, what I'm probably going to work on is what will it take me to sell to pay for my $800 Millennium Falcon? What does that really take? We'll start talking about that a little bit on my next show. Until next time, Lego on.